Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Do you see where we're at? That's right. We're on Grandview Avenue, Mount Washington. Tonight is a very special episode. Well, I'm making it tonight, but you ain't gonna see it till tomorrow until I upload it. But in about 3 installments, roughly about an hour's worth of footage, I'm going to try and demonstrate to you what it's like to sleep out here in the city if you don't want to go to a homeless shelter and you need to camp out for the night. So I'm going to do that tonight. I'm going to show you what that's all about, what you need to do, what kind of precautions you need to take. The first thing you need to do is you need to quit looking at me and look at all this magnificent scenery. You need to find a safe place to sleep. Now that's not always an easy thing, especially if you don't if you're not well acquainted with the city. It takes time. So you have to find yourself a place where you're not going to get hassled by the police, and you're not going to get hassled by somebody who might own the property that you're sleeping in. That's always a possibility. So you have to find a safe place to bed down for the night. I'm not going to get into certain locations because it's just, believe it or not, it's not ethical. I'm not going to give away homeless secrets because they're needed. So I can't tell you where some of these locations are. I won't point them out, and I won't take pictures of them for obvious reasons. But just so you understand, it's a process to find these places, and the people who use them, depend on it. It's more than just a place to sleep. It's also a form of protection, which when you have a home, that's the least thing you worry about until somebody breaks in with a gun and demands your life. But for a homeless person who doesn't have any protection and really can't go to the places if he's being harassed, he has to be a little bit more careful than you. And you want to bed down with you want to try and bed down with a full stomach, because your body's going to need that fuel inside you to keep you warm. That helps a lot. If you try to lay down on an empty stomach, you're going to be up most of the night. You're going to be up most of the night anyway, but I mean, if you get, if you're out here in this kind of weather and these kinds of temperatures and you get 2 hours of sleep, consider that a success. Yeah, truly. Just look how beautiful this city is at night, huh? Isn't it an amazing picture to look at? I mean, how can you ever get tired of looking at Mount Washington? The whole world's down there. But for some people, it's a cruel, bleak, miserable world. But for other people, it's the most prosperous world they could ever imagine. I suppose it's all up to you. Take it in. Just look at all that out there. If you were stranded out here, what would you do? How would you react? If somebody asked you for help, how would you react? Would you just pray for them, or would you give them money? Something I found out in life, and I'm not going to get into politics, but actions are a lot more powerful than words. Something I think Jesus tried to teach us. Anyways, getting back to the reality of the situation here. So, bedding down's hard, and what a lot of homeless people sadly do is they drink a lot of alcohol. As the gentleman, the homeless veteran that I interviewed in the previous video I made, they do it to stay warm. The problem with that is, if you drink enough of it, you can still go into hypothermia because alcohol dehydrates you. So it's not a good thing to be drinking alcohol in this kind of weather, despite what they tell you. In fact, it's probably the last thing you want to put in your body. Water is still your best thing to do. The Youth Club of Grand Avenue. Huh? Look at that. It's a magnificent view over here. We're like almost in the heart of it now. You can see the U.S. Steel building, PPG Plaza. PPG's been my big hangout out here. It's hard for me to look at all this magnificent beauty and to also tell you in the same breath what madness lies in those streets. I almost feel like I'm Batman up here on some crusade to try to stop all this bullshit, and there's just like no way to do it, you know. There's so much craziness down there you can't imagine. I'm not talking about, you know, guns and drugs and prostitution and all that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about mundane, ordinary stuff that people don't know about, that I'm trying to talk about in these videos. All the mental madness, all the mental illness down there, all the people just battling every day, day in and day out, day in and day out. They never get a break. It's one thing with homeless people. They never get a break. They're always, their back's always against the wall. If they're lucky, they get a couple of dollars a day just to keep them going. Look forward to the next day. Stay in a homeless shelter for the night. Then they kick your ass out at 6:30. You have to be out by 6:30. They get you up at 5. Now, a lot of you have been really busting my chops about make a video about the homeless shelters. What's it really like? I'm getting to that. Trust me, I'm getting to it. Be patient. I have a lot to say about it. I've certainly spent enough time in it. I just hope I don't send the wrong message out there. There are a lot of people in this city that are trying to do good. I just think, like everything else in life, you know, nothing is excuse me, I still got this horrible cough. Nothing in life is perfect. Everything can use improvement. That's how winning's done, because you're always improving. Just look at these beautiful neighborhoods. Beautiful homes. That light's flashing up there. I don't know why. Coming up that big beautiful church up there. And another thing with it, you know, homeless people don't usually have designated times when they sleep. You know, you folks that live in your house and have a nice, warm, happy bed while you're watching this video, maybe your bedtime is 10 o'clock. Maybe it's 11 o'clock. Oh, look at that house. A homeless person, though, he sleeps when he's exhausted, pretty much, because he's under a lot of duress. And sometimes that stress gets so bad that he finally just, you know, you have to sleep no matter where you're at, no matter how cold you are. And that's dangerous. A lot of people have died out in these streets, a lot of homeless people, in temperatures like this because of that. A gentleman at a homeless shelter the other night was telling me about some of his friends that have died out here. Very sad stories. These are stories that you don't read in a newspaper or watch on CNN or Fox News. These are the tales of a lot of brave Ulysses that don't have obituaries or write-ups or monuments to them. They're just considered lowlifes. They were the bums of the street. Who cares? Well, I do. And that's why I'm writing their story for them. I'm sorry, but I just have to keep showing you the beauty of this city. Pittsburgh's a beautiful city. Despite my circumstances, I love being here. I absolutely love it. It's a beautiful city to be homeless in. It is. So much for the taking. It's all magical. So, you know, eventually a homeless person gets tired and he tries to find a place to bed down and doesn't like it, but you're always forced to, you know, like things that you just, you know, if you had a home, you would never even think twice, you know. But when you run into these kinds of circumstances, you don't have a choice but to like your accommodations, because things always get worse, you know. If you sleep out here every night, in this kind of weather, there's a good chance you won't make it. Now in the summertime, it might not be so bad, but wintertime's a little different.